my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, the attitude I took to do this speech is, just do it. That's been one of my favorite expressions. And also, I fomented over doing this presentation, but I'm happy to be up here to go ahead and get it out of the way. How many of you enjoy shopping? Yay! Yes, I do, definitely. And so we're going to get together and go shopping soon. As Kim explained as Toastmasters, first I'm going to give you a brief presentation to tell you about the speech today. And then I will explain the role play and introduce my partner who willingly volunteered to assist me today in making the sale. Afterwards, we're going to have a discussion and question and answers period. And that way you can give me feedback on the speech today. The qualities of a successful salesperson. Those are to focus on the buyer, possess good listening skills, create value for the buyer, and be credible, reliable. I'm going to talk today about 4 areas, and that's the buyer's needs that we want to satisfy, your sales strategy, solving the buyer's problem, obtaining commitment. First, we're going to talk about the buyer's needs. When someone walks into your store and they want to purchase a particular product, the key is to find out why this particular person wants to purchase the product. And the way you do that is starting with small talk. You want to create a rapport between you and the buyer. You want to ask the buyer a list of questions like, what do you need this for? What do you want it to do for you? Do you have a product already? And what problems you want it to solve? Questions like that. Then you want to solve the buyer's problems, and you want to do that by having knowledge of the product that the buyer is looking for. You also want to know your competitors' products. And you want to be as knowledgeable as you possibly can be about this particular product. Once you've spoken with the buyer about what he's going to buy, then you can show him what you have to offer. If you've noticed, this is my store. It's called Mary's Health and Beauty and Handsomeness Retail Shop. Quite catchy.
Thanks for throwing that in there.
And if you notice, I have all of my products here on display, and I get a special deal on selling Burt's Bees products because my daughter works at Burt's Bees, and these are her products, her name brand. It's G-U-D, good with the smile. So when you see that in my store or any other store, please purchase it. Please purchase it. At this particular time, I'm going to call on my partner. My partner is Jessie. Thank you, Jessie. So what Jessie is going to do is shop in my store, and he is going to purchase a particular product. Hello, sir.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing very good.
Good.
It's a beautiful day out today, isn't it?
I love the weather. She rode biking to work today, so
Yes.
really enjoying it.
So I am thinking about getting a scooter myself so I can
Really?
ride in.
Big scooter or
Motorized
Okay.
scooter.
probably better.
I love your shirt also.
Oh, thank you. I just
Perfect
bring it
color.
today.
Yes. What brings you into the shop today?
Too much hair. Keeps growing. So kind of looking for a razor or something to take care of it.
Do you have any particular
Well,
brand in mind?
I've been using the single blade big razors that cost about 25 cents. And it
Mhm.
kind of just tears up my face. So I'm kind of looking for something that doesn't do that. But I don't really, not really sure. So kind of open to suggestions actually. What do you have?
Okay. Do you, I just want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you cut your own hair?
I don't. I sometimes have my wife do it, but I just recently found a new beautician. It's very good cutting hair, but she doesn't do the shaving thing, so
Okay.
it's more of a daily thing.
Well, Jesse, I have a product that I think you will love. And it is by Conair,
Okay.
called an aftershave.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does this baby shave nice and close,
Yeah.
it adjusts to the curves that are in your face.
Yeah.
And guess what? It serves a dual purpose. In
Yeah.
addition to shaving, you can also cut your hair with it.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
It comes with the attachments that you can adjust based on the height, the length of your hair
Yeah.
to make it just perfect, just the way you want it to be.
Okay. Will save me a little money too. I won't have to go to the hairdresser, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. How much does this cost?
This baby here is very reasonable. It comes at the very low price of $24.99.
That's not bad actually.
Yes,
You know if it's rechargeable?
it's not rechargeable. However, we do sell a rechargeable attachment.
Okay.
You can throw that in for $3.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
That sounds good.
great,
I think I'll go with that.
awesome.
Cool.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you. Are you done?
Yes.
Thanks.
Now, sometimes your sales aren't successful, but if you establish credibility with your client or your buyer, if that buyer don't buy your product at that particular time, chances are he will come back to do business with you at other times to purchase different products. At this time, I'm going to do a discussion period, starting with my buyer, Jesse. Jesse, what are your comments about that buying process?
Thought it went fairly well. There wasn't any major hiccups in there really. You answered my questions. I think maybe a little bit at the beginning, you kind of tried to force a little bit of a conversation rather than go with the flow of it, which is always tricky in sales. But overall, very good.
Yes. If you notice, I didn't try to force the product on you because
Right.
sometimes sellers want you to buy their products just so they can get the commission off it. And they will get a trip to Tahiti or some place like that, depending on the number of sales that they make. So I like to open it up to the audience for comments, suggestions regarding that sales transaction. Yes, Lisa.
I thought you did a good job in suggesting additional, what do you call it, additional attachments, if you will. I think you were not pushy. I thought it was very easy, an easy conversation. You asked him for his need, what he was looking for, and you just had an easy flow of conversation with him. I thought it looked to be a comfortable exchange.
Thank you. Greg.
Well, I just went to Menards and was asking for something, and I was glad that the guy waited for me to tell him the specifics, which is a lot what you did. You were listening more than talking. And the guy at Menards was so helpful. I asked his name, which was Nathan. So if you ever go to Menards South, look for Nathan. And exactly, I would love to talk to the manager and say, I love the way that guy did business. So as you said, if you're courteous and listen to the customer, you could reap you some good feedback.
Thank
But
you.
did well.
Thank you, Greg. Ken.
Yeah, when I go into a store, I'm usually all business. I want to look at things, I want to buy things. I usually don't want to talk about the weather or other things. So you have to gear your approach to the buyer, and you often don't know what the buyer is like and what the buyer prefers until you get started, so it's kind of tricky.
True. That's a very good point. So having the ability to discern a buyer's disposition works in your favor as well. Anybody else? Thank you, everybody, for your comments, and I really appreciate those. Like Greg said, if you're courteous to the buyer, then your buyer is going to tell other people about you, and you could get a promotion, especially if the buyer writes to your manager or the store owner to tell them that you did a very nice job. So, thank you.